Hello everyone and welcome. I'm glad you could join me. I'm here today in my winter holiday fleece, even though it's actually not that cold out where I am in Lynn, Massachusetts. It's 50 degrees outside for almost the middle of December, which is kind of funny. Usually it's kind of cold, but it hasn't really been all that cold. The other day it was 60 degrees, so go figure. But I'm wearing my little fleece outfit that says chillin'. I got this at Walmart. It's so cozy. I mean, I love it. It's what I need on a chilly night. So, and I figured I would get into the spirit of things. So I put it on for the video today. I want to get right to it. I have a really cute holiday card that I want to show you. It's a little bit different. So I'm just going to flip the camera and we'll get started. So this is the card, and while it doesn't look particularly different when you just look at it, this is what's different about it, is it opens like this. So this is not, excuse me, this is not a card that opens. Doesn't open to the left or the right or anything. It's just a card base, a card layer, piece of DSP, and we're going to score it and then fold it down behind the layer so that it will easily flip. Now, I had thought about just gluing it to the top, but that would end up causing a crease, and if you keep flipping it up over and over again, it might end up just coming off. You're better off just cutting an extra inch and or two, and then scoring it and folding it down. I'll show you how to do that, and that way when you're flipping it up, it's not gonna break off. Then add just a little strip of white cardstock, a little bit smaller, and you can stamp on the inside if you want, or leave it blank like I did so that you can write your sentiment. Now this one is got Evening Evergreen card base, and the layer is actually, I think this one is Poppy Parade. Yeah, because I have, let's see, this one is Real Red, and you can see they're not the same color. So this is Poppy Parade, and this paper is from the, what is it, the Boughs of Holly designer series paper. Let me see, I got a few more pieces over here. This paper, and it has this backing. So whatever paper you choose, it should be two-sided. Well, they're all two-sided, but the reverse side should at least be of a design that when you flip it up, it makes sense. So it can either be just some sort of decoration or whatever. It can't be like, the reason I'm saying that, for example, Santa Express designer series paper. Some of it is, if you flip it over, it has Santa and Mrs. Claus dancing, or it has like the train, the little choo-choo train. If you had that on the back, it would, you'd have to cut it and it wouldn't make sense. So that's what I'm saying that. So I'm going to, we're going to make another card on camera. And what the other thing I did with this was I did corner rounding, and I used the old trio punch. It's no longer available in the catalog, and I'm so disappointed about that. I really like this one. I also went ahead and I ordered online a small corner rounder punch on Amazon, and they probably have them in just about, they probably have them at Michael's or whatever. Anyway, I'll put a link to where you can find a corner rounder punch. I like the way that it looks. So let me go ahead and show you I went ahead and pre-punched and pre-die cut some of the pieces because it just makes it easier. You don't have to watch me doing it on the camera, because that's not the point of you watching me do it. I want to show you how to do it And I can just as easily tell you that you can die cut a piece and what to die cut it, and you don't need to see me doing it. All right, so what I have here is, this is shaded spruce. It's a piece of shaded spruce cut at 5.5 by 4 1/4. Now normally we would score it at 4 1/4, but you're not. You're just going to use the card base. So in this case, if you wanted to go ahead and make 4 cards, you can. So if you take one 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, if you cut it at 5.5 by 4 1/4, you're going to get 4 card bases using this, you know, for this style of card. That's pretty good. Usually we get 2 cards because we're folding it in half. In this case, you're going to get 4 cards. So this is 5.5 by 4 1/4. Then I took a piece of real red, cut it at our standard layer measurement, 5 1/4 by 4. And that'll be your layer. So why don't I go ahead, and I'm going to do some corner rounding. We'll see how this goes. So I'm going to be honest, this corner rounder, I have to press it a little bit hard. See, it didn't really punch that well, so I'm going to give it another go. And again, that's why I bought a corner rounder on Amazon, because I haven't been particularly happy with. No, there we go. So the difference is I stood up. There we go. So I had to give it a little bit more pressure on it by standing up. So for whatever that's worth. Okay, so that's that piece. And I'm going to do the same thing with the real red. Oops. And there we go. Now, I'm not going to tack this down because we're also going to need, so you'll want to cut yourself a piece of designer series paper, just like I said, something with a reverse side. Now, this is the Santa Express. But in this case, one side is the polka dots or sprinkles or confetti, whatever you want to call them. And the other side is Christmas presents. And so the pattern makes sense. So this one is cut at 6 inches by 2.5 inches, and you'll score it on the 6-inch side at 1 inch. So once it's folded over, it's going to be 5 inches. And we'll put it over the backing. So what I want you to do is just put some adhesive on the folded over strip. Now I'm just going to use some Stamp and Seal. Not everybody is a fan of the Stamp and Seal because it can be a little challenging to use. So if you prefer liquid glue, go ahead. That's also a favorite of mine. But I'll tell you, there are days when it slops over everything and I just end up with glue all over me. So I've been turning to the Stamp and Seal a little bit more at this point. Okay, so now we can actually, oh, you know what, and what did I do? I put it on the wrong piece, didn't I? Already I'm making a mistake, and you were probably going, no, not that one. We're going to cover it up anyway, because I'm going to tack it down. Let me put a little bit more adhesive. I should pay attention more to what I'm doing, huh? I'm glad I caught it. All right, I put a little bit more on there, and now we're going to put it on the right piece, the red. So I'm going to center it. Okay. And now what we can do is we can actually, you know what I think I'm going to do is flip it over, because I'm going to end up covering that piece anyway with a sticker, made by sticker. All right, so I think we can just go ahead and tack that piece down as well. Okay. All right, so we're kind of cooking. All right, so let's see. This is for the sentiment, this little piece. So I cut this out of the boughs, the holly berry dies that goes with the leaves of holly stamp set. So within within the dies, you get this die right here. It's a label die that also has some holly leaves on it, in addition to the holly leaves, and then another sentiment label. So I cut out one of the holly leaves just straight from some cardstock. I didn't stamp it first. And then this sentiment label, because I was thinking to put it across here. And then I wanted to have a little piece, I don't know, we'll see if that's gonna work. And I think it will, because the sentiment that I want, I think is going to work. And then I was thinking put this holly leaf on that side, because there are two holly leaves over here, so put a holly leaf up there. I had also thought about putting ribbon around the front, and I thought that was a little too much. All right, so what we also want to do is have the strip of white for the sentiment, and that piece is cut at 4 3/4 by 2 1/4. So it's just a little bit less than this sheet. So I'm going to take this strip off. Put some adhesive on it. And I'm going to kind of line it up. I'm going to put it at the top, but I'm going to line it up in the center of the strip so that I know that it's going to be covered. And there we have it. It's not gonna, you're not gonna see it until you flip it up. Now again, remember I said you could put a sentiment in there. I might, I don't know. I'll have to see how I feel about it. Now, I'm going to, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up popping this up in dimensionals, and that way when I can come back and put this one in underneath it. Okay, so you know what, I'm going to do the stamping for the sentiment. And the sentiment I'm going to use is from the framed and festive stamp set, which was part of the fitting florets. With the fitting florets, there were 2 stamp sets. So this is available, and it's going to be carried over into the January to April mini catalog. So if you were to get this now, it's not part of the holiday catalog that's going to be retiring at the end of December. So this one I'm going to use Fa La La. And I think I measured it that it's going to fit. And I'm going to use the shaded spruce. All right, let's see how successful I'm going to be with this. All right, there's plenty of ink on it. I'm going to move the ink out of the way. There we go. Nice. It came out good. All right. I'm going to set that aside for a second and bring this back down. And I'm going to just put a little bit of adhesive on the back and tack it down to the sentiment label. Now, you could, if you wanted to, put it on, pop it up on dimensionals. And the reason I'm not is because I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals on the card. All right, let me get my dimensionals. You know, when I make an order through Stampin' Up! And it's a big enough order that I get Stampin' Rewards. A lot of times what I do is what I order for my free products are things like dimensionals or Tombow glue, because I go through so much of it. And they're not terribly expensive, so I can get a lot of them on my, as part of my Stampin' Rewards. I mean, I don't need to buy another stamp set. What I need to buy are more dimensionals and glue. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you're not sure what to get with your Stampin' Rewards, yeah, try dimensionals. The things, look for the things that you go through a lot. These are what they call the consumables. Let's see, what I think I might do is do it kind of a little off kilter. There we go. And this one for the holly leaf, I think I'm just going to tap on some liquid glue. I'm just going to kind of do it at the bottom and not all the way to the top. Let's see how this goes. Because I don't want it to be tacked down to the red layer. See, I already got a little bit of glue on my fingers. All right, so we could just leave it at that. Let me see, what do I have for, oh, this is kind of more, that's pink. I could do gold. I could put a couple of gold, maybe I'll do that. A couple of gold gem dots across the bottom. Maybe up here. Maybe one down there. Excuse me. Just kind of a little bit randomly, right? That's it. Kind of simple, right? Very simple but cute. You could put more gem dots. You could stamp another decoration in there, a holly bough. You could put a holly leaf in there before you tack it down. Put your you could say, let's see, where's the stamp set? It says, let's see, celebrate with tags. Sorry, the air is dry in here. You could say Merry Christmas. And by the way, this celebrate with tags has not only Christmas sentiments, but look, happy birthday. Has a cute little mitten on it, which I've used to make some Christmas tags. Has the happy birthday with a balloon, and then it also has, look, for Valentine's Day or for the birthday. So check out your Christmas stamp sets, because oftentimes they have a birthday sentiment in there. So just to note, you could put, so you could fit Merry Christmas there. You could say, you know, be jolly, all kinds of ideas if you wanted to, or just leave it blank. So there's card number 2. I'll put that there. Bring them down so you can see them both there. Now, let's see. I did have another one that I wanted to make. And, oh, you know what? I better move these. I'll show them to you at the end again. Now, this one I'm making with the metallic and shimmer paper, and you get a few pieces of each of black glimmer paper with silver and white, and you get one that's evening evergreen with gold, and then you get one that's forget, it's kind of orangey. Can I be honest? I hated it. I hated the orange one. Ugh, didn't like it at all. But I love this one. This one is so pretty, and we're going to make one right now, one of these cards with this silver and black glimmer paper. And I'm starting with a piece of basic white cut at 5.5 by 4.25, just as we did the last one, and this is going to be our card base. And I'm going to do corner rounding. And then I'm using a piece of smoky slate at 5.25 by 4. So let's see, I'm going to do the corner rounding first. I got to stand up. Okay, and then I cut again a piece of that's it's 6 inches by 2.25, and it's scored at 1 inch. And I'm going to tack it down right onto the smoky slate. Okay, just like that. And I can now tack down the smoky slate onto the base of the card. And again, I have a piece for the inside cut at 4.75 by 2.25. But you know what? I'm going to stamp this one. So this one, I'm going to make it into a New Year's card. And I'm using the Brightest Glow stamp set because it has a Happy New Year sentiment. And then in addition to that, the Joyful Flurry stamp set has the sentiment, sending you all the best this new year. So I'm going to stamp that onto the inside before I tack it down. And I'm just going to use some Memento Tuxedo Black. Okay. Set that aside. Bring this back. Okay. Just want to make sure that it's dry. I think it is. And I'm going to just put some adhesive on it. And again, I'm going to just put it at the top, center it, and then tack it down. And there you have it. Ooh, I just got a bing bing on my Amazon Echo device that I have 2 shipments. Okay, they'll have to sit on the front porch and wait. All right, now I am going to, oh, I know what I wanted to do because I'm sort of a little bit doing this on the fly. Oh, I know, I had taken this piece with the, and cut it at 4 inches by 1 1/4. And then I wanted to flag it at the bottom. All right, and I might still do that. I really like this paper though, and I don't really want to cover it. So I'm not going to tack it down yet because I had the idea that, now these circle punches, again, I probably shouldn't be putting these out here. These are no longer available. One is 2 1/4 and one is 2 inches. I love my punches, and even though they retired, I don't want to get rid of them. Why would I? All right, so I'm going to try to do, this is the 2 1/4. I'm going to see how this looks. And I'm punching out a piece from, a circle from Basic Black, just as the sentiment base. And then from a piece of, let's see, where's my, okay, from Basic White, two-inch circle from Basic White. And that way I have, you know, I have a border all the way around it. But that doesn't look that great, does it? If I just put the black on the black. But if I put it over here, if I did that, that would look a little bit better. So actually I'm feeling better about this piece. And what I'm going to do is flag the bottom. So to flag, we'll see how good it comes out. Snip, make a snip right up the center, and then cut from the corner to that snip, and then from the other corner to the snip, and you have a flag. Now, Stampin' Up! Used to also have the, I think it was the tailored tag punch, and you could make a flag out of it. But you know what, if you don't have that, this is an easy way to do it. All right, so I'm going to put some adhesive, wherever the heck I put my, oh, it's right in front of me. And I'm only going to put it at the top. I don't really need a lot of adhesive. Let me put another row of adhesive. Whatever your adhesive of choice is. And then I'm just going to put it at the, right at the top of the black Designer Series paper. Okay, I kind of like it. And for the for the sentiment, again, as I said, I want to put Happy New Year. All right, and Happy New Year, oh, it's right there, okay. Okay. All right, and again, I'm going to use the Memento Black. Ooh, I like it. Okay. Put some adhesive on the back and put it onto the basic black backing. You know, I'm going to flip it over and give it a little back rub. And then I'm going to put a few dimensionals on the back. But let me see, where do I need to put the dimensionals? I'm just going to put them, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. That's going to cover the whole thing. So I can put like 4, and then I think I'll do one in the center. And that's about it. Press them down, make sure they're good and adhered. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm just thinking. So there's this black organdy ribbon that is still in the catalog from last year, I think. And this is just a thought I'm having, to just put a little bit of, I don't know, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna lay it on there and see, just to put a little bit of ribbon across the front of it, and then put the sentiment label on it. Oh, this might be too long. You know, something like that. Because I don't want to put a bow or anything on it. All right. And then, ooh, something like that, right? All right, let me see if I can get this centered kind of decent. Like that. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like the way that came. Gives it a little bit of whoop, something, right? Something, something. All right, now I do have some bling. I have some black. I could do this kind of, no, I don't know. And then I have the white iridescent pearls. And then I have some white, I don't know. I might do the white iridescent pearls. I haven't even used these yet. I bought them and they're still unopened. See how they look. I can always peel them off. It's the beauty of these gem dots, is that when you take them off, it doesn't ruin your paper. So I might do a combination of some of the larger ones. I'll just do, like, you know, the rule of 3s. Ooh, there we go. I think I'll do one here. Oh yeah, I like that. And I'll do one up there. And I think I'll do one at the bottom. Right? No. I think I'm going to do it up here. There we have it. Again, kind of simple, right? Super cute. Great little idea how to make 4 cards out of one piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So here are the three. This is the one that I had made ahead of time. Oh, and I used some gold designer series paper. I don't think that's available anymore. I think they sold out. So this one, I just decided I had already had this die cut in my stash, and I said, oh look, a gold butterfly, let me just put it on there. And then these are from the dies are from the Fitting Florets bundle that's still available. So I use that, and then the designer series paper again is from the Boughs of Holly. And now we have the second one that we made using the Santa Express designer series paper and the Holly dies. And then the Fa La La is from the framed and festive, part of the, also the second stamp set with the fitting florets. Like that. This is made with, this one was made with Evening Evergreen and Poppy Parade, as I mentioned. This one was made with Shaded Spruce and Real Red. And then last but not least, this very cool one that made with Basic White, Smoky Slate, and then the, I don't know where I put it now. Oh, here it is, buried. The Metallic Shimmer Specialty Paper. Used the New Year from Brightest Glow. Happy New Year. And the Black Organdy ribbon, which I love. The Iridescent Pearls, Basic Jewels that are in the, I'm pretty sure these are in the annual catalog, so these will be available for a while until June. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'm very happy to bring these to you. And I do have a few more easy cards to make for the holiday. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will put additional details in the description below for you, as well as a link to my blog where I'll have some additional pictures. And I appreciate you spending your time with me today. So until next time, thank you and bye-bye.